of Merch Ninja Show. Who do we have here? Mr. Ryan Raymond in the house.
How's it going? Glad to be here.
Thank you, man. Thanks for being on the show. How are you? You all right?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I've been loving what you've been putting out. I'll be glad to chat with you. It's been fun. It's been good watching what you've been seeing. So
awesome, man. And I've been loving what you do. Like you're a machine, man. You're like every single day doing lives and stuff. In every group pretty much, and on YouTube, everywhere. Awesome.
There we go. Somehow got the restream there. Let me pause that there. No, yeah, I started accidentally kind of making videos last year when I started merch. So I started merch in July, for those of you guys that don't know me, July 2018. And just kind of started going and started learning as much as I could and started answering questions in some of the groups. And I found that if I recorded like a 10-second video answering the question, it would help explain it a lot easier. And I posted one as a comment somewhere, and someone made a joke and said, "Hey, where's your YouTube channel?" And I was like, "Well, I don't really have one," but at one point in time, I had started Facebook page. So I just started live streaming on there, and it's evolved, and now I'm on YouTube. So if you search my name, Ryan A. Raymond, I should pop right up. And what I do mostly is niche research, tutorial videos, design from scratch, research, design, and writing listings for shirts. For me, it's really easy because if I'm sitting here working, I can just hop on and show you guys in the middle of my workflow and do a video. So it's been really fun to be able to do that.
Awesome, man. You put out a lot of content all the time. So guys, if anybody is listening to this, either live or a replay, go follow Ryan A. Raymond. Just type Ryan Raymond merch, he'll come up, or just Ryan Raymond. You're everywhere on YouTube, aren't you, mate?
I got it everywhere. There's probably about 100 different videos up there right now. So
amazing, man. You've been putting out some serious stuff. Brilliant. Who do we have here? Is you Hamid? Hi, hello, mate. Hey. How are you? Who do we have here? Ayad Abunada. Hello, my friend. I think I recognize him from one of the groups. Stephen. Hello, my brother.
Hey, Steve.
Imad, hello, mate. Salim Hamidi, my man. I met him in Turkey in the airport. He's one of my pals, one of my best friends that I've got going in merch and everywhere else. Hello there. Who do we have? The Smart World. Hello, mate. Hello, everyone. We've got about 16 people watching us now, so we need to get that going. Guys, anybody who's watching this, please share to all the groups that you know, to people that you know that are interested in merch. We need some more viewers. Okay, so it's going up. We've got about 18 now. Fantastic. Okay. Fantastic. So Ryan, what's the first thing you want to talk about?
Well, I guess we can start talking about I don't know. We get so many questions. I think the one that we talked about before we got started here that I think we both get asked the most is, how do you get out of the lower tiers, or what advice would you give people in the lower tiers? And one of the things that I tell people, if you're in tier 10, the first thing you should think about is, who do you have influence with? Like, who do you communicate with that could buy shirts? Ask them what kind of shirt they want. If you tell someone like, "Hey man, I'm starting to sell shirts," they might say, "Hey, I've always wanted a shirt that says, I don't know, lift this with a dumbbell or something on it." That's an example. I brought that up to a friend one day right when I was starting, and I put it up, and he didn't buy it, but 2 other people did. So in tier 10, I either would say start with who you have influence with in a Facebook group or on Reddit or somewhere where if you have any sort of audience, if you have that, start with it, even if that's just friends and family. It's going to be the fastest way to find ideas to sell that people are going to want to buy. If you don't have that option, I recommend starting with trying to identify a niche that would not be saturated on Amazon, because if you're trying to throw one grain of sand, into the ocean, and then you're telling everyone in the world to go find that grain of sand in a sea of 10,000 shirts, you're going to have trouble. What I would recommend doing in that case is identifying some niches or phrases that you make up that can target more laser focused topics. Like, go look up a weird list of hobbies and find, you might come up with an example I've used multiple times is salt and pepper shaker collectors. I never really thought that would be something that people really would be passionate about. But it turned out I found like a Facebook group with 5,000 people in it that were absolutely obsessed with salt and pepper shakers. And I just went in there and said, hey, I want to design shirts and I wanted to learn about your topic. So can you guys tell me about what things you do, some words? And I got a whole bunch of comments and some suggestions for some shirts. And they bought a few. And you never know what kind of relationships you can strike up just by talking to people without being pushy, though. You know, be upfront, be honest, say, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. And if you're still not comfortable with that, if you're just going to start targeting niches and doing research cold on Amazon, so you get 10 uploads. Those first 10 uploads, I would recommend finding something that you think you're going to be able to sell in, a niche that you're passionate about. Make 5 designs for that. Put those on your first 5 shirts. The next 5, I would spread out into 5 other niches. If you get sales in any of those niches and it's been 3 weeks, I would start taking down the shirts that haven't sold and put them back into the niches that you have made sales in, because you've already validated them for yourself and kind of proven that they're going to work. So, and after tier 25, go back and take those next 15 uploads, target where you've made your sales, and then spread some out into a few new niches. At that point, I would say from 25 to 100, I don't know, maybe, so you have your 25 shirts you've already sold. One of the things I've said is then take 25 more and put them into your best-selling niche. So that brings you up to 50 uploads. For the next 25 uploads, pick 5 niches and upload 5 designs into each niche. And then for your last 25, give it a shotgun. Throw up 25 new niches, make 25 different ones and try it, because you might find some new things that are selling. And I think that's kind of the best way I've been able to find to describe it. And I still apply that strategy similarly at tier 4,000 now. I keep looking at what's selling. And if something isn't selling, I take that down and I start re-entering more shirts into what sells each day. And that seems to help get the snowball going for me. And then
once you find what works, what you do, you don't keep looking, you try and dig deeper and try and dominate that niche, right?
That's right.
And get more share of the market.
Yeah. So if it's, I don't know, let's say you found a niche and it's underwater basket weaving, it's not really a real thing, but go join the underwater basket weaving groups on Facebook. Start reading all of their posts. Go join the subreddits, find forums, find where those people hang out and listen to what they're talking about for their niche. And you're going to get ideas flowing. If you're spending time absorbing the same material that your target customer is, you're going to get more and more ideas. So, and I've had someone once told me, I'm trying to remember what they sent me a shirt about. Oh, it was a fantasy football draft party. So, but they didn't know what even fantasy football was. They thought it was people playing football in the backyard drinking beer. And that's the shirt they were going to make. What in America, fantasy football is, you draft imaginary players off of professional football teams and see how well they play in the week and compete with your friends and call them and make fun of them and make them wear unicorn shirts when they lose or something, So those types of things, dive into it and actually understand what you're making the shirt for. Don't just say, these are the keywords and then throw it up and hope it works.
No, totally. So. But do you know what? A lot of people create t-shirts or designs and they throw them on Amazon and they expect to get sales right away. They don't know that they have to give it a little bit of time for the Amazon algorithm to work, to do its magic. And they're not going to be on page number 1 instantly. They have to get that sales velocity, right? A lot of people don't understand that. But what they also underestimate is the power of marketing, man. They have to market their shirts somehow. You've got all these social media platforms that you can get into. Get an Instagram account, choose a niche and start building that Instagram account. Give them some content that they might like and then throw in a shirt here and there. You build that credibility and people will click on that t-shirt. Maybe make, where it says the website, just put a link of that t-shirt with bit.ly or whatever. People will click on that link and they'll go straight into the t-shirt. Focus on that one t-shirt per Instagram account. Create 10 Instagram accounts Why not? I don't think anybody
Mhm.
has done this before. Maybe if you have done it, but it's quite underutilized, I would say.
I would say so. I've got a niche brand Instagram page sitting at 12,000 followers right now. And
Awesome.
just what I do with that is I use Place It, mock up the
Yeah.
t-shirt on it, and then upload that picture. That lifestyle mock-up from Place
Yeah.
It is perfect for Instagram for mocking up
It's amazing.
shirts.
It's pretty
And that's all I
cheap. It's
post.
what?
It's
It's
30
like
bucks a month.
$20, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
$20 a
30 bucks
month.
a month, and you get unlimited mock-ups, and it has a design tool for designing your own shirts. You can make videos. You could take those videos, you could upload them to YouTube, and target it, because YouTube gets indexed in Google higher than almost anything else. So let's say you wanted to make that, dabbing dog shirt, make the dabbing dog t-shirt channel and start uploading all your t-shirt videos from Place It with a link to Amazon in the description. It's free. Do the free ones if you don't have an option. Instagram,
if you don't
Facebook,
have money
Pinterest,
to spend on AMS or whatever, these are your options.
Yeah, Reddit's great if you know how to use Reddit.
But you've got to be clever with Reddit. Yeah, if you just go
Yes.
straight up and post, "Oh, buy my T-shirt," they're gonna boo you like never
Yes.
before. They're gonna hate you, mate. You got to get in. You got to contribute to the community. Get yourself known. Get them to know you. Then bit by bit, ask them, "Hey, would you like to buy my T-shirt?" But you have to find demand for it. You can't just throw in anything that's unrelated to that niche, because you're going to be joining subreddits, aren't you? And those subreddits, you have to know a little bit about them. You have to contribute. People need to know you. That's when they start accepting you. You're like kind of part of the club, part of the community.
Post questions, ask, I'm new to, just say, I'm new. Let's say you join motorcycle subreddit and you don't know anything about motorcycles, and someone posts something and you say, "Hey, I don't quite understand what this is. Can you tell me what it means to you?" And they might tell you a big long life story about why they're passionate about motorcycles, giving you all sorts of ideas of things that you can talk about in a shirt
that you probably never heard before, and maybe nobody on Amazon has tried, and it gives you that idea to start with.
Absolutely. There's so many different ways you can get a shirt in front of someone that told you they wanted it, even by talking to people. I think is probably one of the most powerful ways to sell a shirt. And then it kind of goes into when you're doing your research. Why did you choose to make the shirt you're going to make, and who is it going to be for, and why should they buy it? If you just looked on Amazon and you saw the best-selling shirt is, a square for some reason, so you just put up squares and you name your shirt Square, but it was actually, some sort of specific thing, and you didn't even research it, no one's going to buy it because they're not going to see it if you didn't get the keywords right. So you gotta understand who you got to try and get into your buyer's head and figure out why they're going to even want to buy this product for them. I think a lot of people buy them as gifts. I think a lot of the t-shirts are gifts on Amazon, but then again, I see a lot of people just wearing them around. It's crazy how many people wear them in America, and you just start recognizing the shirt quality walking around town. So
no, 100%. And people also don't use Pinterest that much either for research or marketing. And it's a huge
great
area, isn't it?
Here's one thing I would say to do on Pinterest. You could start a research board. So you're going to enter a new niche. Let's say you wanted to sell unicorn shirts. All right, so you start pinning all sorts of unicorn funny things from other people's boards into one of your boards. And then all of a sudden, then you start slipping in your product links to your shirts while still pinning other people's boards. They get the notification, "Hey, this person's got a unicorn board. So do I. Let's look through it." And they see a whole bunch of things that aren't just t-shirts. That's important. That you don't fill your whole board with nothing but t-shirts. That they come, they look, and they say, "Oh, that's a funny phrase. That's a funny phrase. Oh, look, it's on a t-shirt. Click on it." And bam, they're on Amazon, add to cart, one click buy, and it's at their house in 3 days, So
absolutely,
there's so many different powerful ways you can use it.
Yeah. So with Pinterest, the key, guys, is not to just go out there and market yourself 100%. You need to maybe market yourself about 20% or 10%, but the rest is good content, whether something that you've created or you've you've gotten for free from somewhere that that it's not copyrighted, or you're able to kind of share it. So it has what's it called, the commons, what's it called,
the Creative Commons licenses.
Creative Commons, yeah. So it has to have so it has to be 300%, so it doesn't belong to anybody, basically.
Yeah,
and you're good to go.
It is yours. Yeah, just go to town on that. Post relevant things. I liked even I've done it in a video where I go on Pinterest and researched and then picked color palettes based on palettes I found, and I kind of made the whole board the t-shirt design, and it ended with a t-shirt. So it told the story of creating the t-shirt. I've tried that. That shirt has sold a few times. I'm not with Amazon. You can't ever tell for sure if it came from Pinterest, but if you had a Shopify store and did the same thing, you can get that tracking. And I know that does work. So directing it back to a Shopify and using Printful to fulfill shirts on my own. So.
Awesome. And one shirt can make a huge difference, isn't it? So Izui is saying one shirt took him from T10 to T500 after 6 months of uploading and deleting. You just need to be patient and learn more and more every day. And that's the whole idea, guys. You need to be consistent. If you're not consistent, you're not going to see any kind of results. You might see results after 6 months of uploading, and it might just take off from nowhere. You don't know where it's going to come from. But if you try it for 1 week or 1 month, you don't see any results, and you stop, that's it. You've lost the game right from the get-go. So you got to keep at it until you see, some kind of difference. So that's a valid point right there. Well done.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hello. Oh, who's this?
You got a storm
My
over there?
lighting has gone for some reason. Let me just turn the backup light. Hold on a sec.
Okay, no problem. While he's running there, Morgan's asking, are you guys running any ads on Pinterest or just doing custom boards? I'm not currently running any ads. The only places I'm currently running any ads is I have a few running on Amazon right now, and then Google Shopping ads for my Shopify store. So that's about it.
Awesome. Hello from Toronto. Hello, Ali. How are you, mate? Stephen, we said hello to you. How are you, mate? You all right? Stephen says Reddit is a rabbit hole.
Yes, yeah, it is.
I think it is the second or third most used website on the internet, isn't it? It's like crazy, man.
Yes.
The traffic it receives is absolutely immense. And if you know how to use it to your advantage. Yeah.
No matter what the topic is, there is a whole community focused on that one thing. And if you talk about anything other than that one thing in their community, you get downvoted and booed out. So it's highly focused research on Reddit. It's great.
I tell you one other website that's kind of similar like it. It's Quora. Quora Answers. So if you type just type t-shirt, somebody might be looking for a particular t-shirt. And you say to them, I'll be able to make this kind of t-shirt and put it on Amazon. Would you be interested? If they say yes, perfect. Make it right away and give them the link.
Drop the link right there. Yeah,
absolutely. Or Twitter. You can do that on Twitter as well. Just type the word t-shirt. Make sure that it's not trademarked, or where to buy this t-shirt or where to get this t-shirt. Just the keyword.
Check those hashtags too on Instagram and Twitter. Someone make this a shirt. I think is a common one. You can look through, someone make this a shirt. Someone will see a meme and they'll be like, oh, this needs to be a shirt. And they might hashtag it. And as a t-shirt designer, you can find that comment, make the t-shirt, drop the link, and it's done. And when they see it, they might go.
Literally. It's that easy. There's so many other ways. People just need to be creative and start doing work, man.
Don't sit there clicking refresh on your merch dashboard for 3 weeks and not do something else to change that status. You gotta try and do something different if you're sitting there just refreshing and refreshing and refreshing.
So we spoke about how to get out of the lower tiers. So for people that are already on Amazon, that have been on Amazon for a few months, and some of them have had their sales tank a little bit. They're not seeing consistent results. They may be in tier, 2,000, 4,000, even 6,000, but they're not seeing consistent sales, or not to the level of volume that they might expect, what would you say to them? How can we make a difference to them?
Number one, remove your expectations. That's probably the first thing anyone should do, because if you expect to sell 500 shirts a day, you're always going to be disappointed if you don't. That's kind of one of the first things is, don't remove your emotions from the business of selling the t-shirts, because if you're expecting certain results, you're probably, unless you're laying out direct focus steps to get those results, if you're just sitting wishing, it's not going to work. But for people in those higher tiers, for me, I set goals when I started Amazon. When I started this, I said I wanted to sell 100 different products. The first goal. That's a pretty easy one to catch. I got it in about a month and a half. Just get up my first 100 products sold. Then I wanted to sell 100 different products in a month. And I've been doing that consistently now for about 8 months now, continuously. At least 100 different products sell every month. Then I set the second goal of saying I wanted 100 different products to sell every week. And I've gotten it a couple times, but it's not consistent yet. I've gotten there at some higher peaks, and I haven't had a variety of 100 individual products sell in a week yet. So, and then I said, if I can figure out how to do it in each of these intervals, I can get it down to a day. I can get it down to an hour if I keep pushing hard enough. So those are the types of expectations I put on myself. Figure out how to get to this point. But for things you can do, if you're just going on there on Amazon, typing in, and the search results come up, and let's say there's 10,000 search results, and you see a BSR of 180,000, you see a 300,000, a 200,000, and then another 300,000. So all in all, that might equate to a total of like 6 sales in that entire niche in the last 24 hours. And there's 10,000 people competing for it. You're not going to differentiate yourself enough to win that sales velocity against your top sellers on 6 sales a day. It's not a strong enough niche to justify the 10 million shirts that are in there or whatever. I personally like going after 0 search results. If I can come up with a phrase that has 0 search results whatsoever, that's my favorite one, because then I can add keywords and treat it kind of like an onion. If you started with funny cat shirt, it might have 60,000 search results. And then you said funny cat shirt with glasses, it goes down to 10,000 results. Funny cat shirt with glasses and hat, 400 results. Funny cat shirt with glasses and hat, American flag, 2 results. So that means there's only 2 shirts on all of Amazon that had those higher ranking keywords in it. And you can niche. I love mashing them together to come up with something that's going to be completely unique that won't be already on Amazon. And by and far, the things that sell the best for me are when I'm first, when other people have to come copy me. That is, some generic phrases that are out there, there's like good vibes is in a million different things. It's on rainbows, unicorns, cats, dogs, drinking beer and wine. So if you can find a new way of taking a popular phrase and mashing it with a new niche when it doesn't exist, just start adding keywords to something that's doing well until there's nothing else there on Amazon. And that's my favorite entry point by far.
Amazing. I think that's an amazing point you mentioned there. Not a lot of people are using it like that. They just find a niche or a t-shirt that sells really well, and they start looking for similar t-shirts. No, you get in with that very saying and add something to it, or add 2 things to it. So for example, if you're doing cancer awareness, make it for somebody who likes dogs, or for an auntie, or for a mum, or for a dad. Always add that other layer or that cross niche to make it a bit more personalized and more specific. People really get drawn to those things, right?
Absolutely. Don't try and sell to everyone. Try and sell to one person, because if that one person is similar enough to enough people, you can probably get some sales. But you're absolutely right there. like you said, let's say it was an awareness shirt. So awareness, dog lover, mom. You know, you targeted mothers.
Three niches right there you're targeting, yeah.
And then what you don't do on that shirt is you don't list it on kids then. Because no kid's ever going to buy it. And you don't want Amazon to ever try ranking it in the kids area because no mom is buying that shirt for their kid. I believe laser focus that if it's not a kid's shirt, don't put it on kids. If you're designing it for a mom, a dad, I see so many people do that, and it drives me nuts. And then validate your keywords. It's important. It's really important to validate that the keyword is relevant to your shirt. If you've got a St. Patrick's Day shirt, don't call it a Christmas gift because even though it may sell as a Christmas gift, if you look for like Christmas gift shirt dabbing unicorn, there's like 0 search results using any extension. Like that's not how people search for a product. If someone types Christmas shirt in Amazon, they're wanting it to have Santa Claus, reindeer, a Christmas tree, something that's going to be Christmas.
Here's the thing, Ray. When you type Christmas shirt on Amazon, nothing Christmassy comes up. You just see all the nothing. Yeah, because obviously they haven't been having the sales velocity and they get pushed down the list.
All the other keyword stuff shirts that have Christmas in it are currently ranking. But once Christmas starts getting closer, it right at about October, that just tanks down. And the actual things people are looking for, their matching family Christmas shirt for their matching family photo that they're going to return tomorrow after they take the photo. But I don't know. I think I made 19 Halloween shirts in total and a couple Christmas shirts in the last year. I really haven't targeted much for holidays. I did get a couple 4th of July shirts that did well this year. And I know I've got a few shirts from Halloween that are ranking right now for it's like matching family grandma shirt, matching family mom shirt type thing, and then mash up your niche. Those types of things I know I'm ranking well for because I ranked well for them last year, but they were laser focused. I didn't try to make the shirt for every single person at Halloween this year. I tried making it for moms with 3 kids. You know, you design it for targeting exactly. I'm a mom with 3 little monsters. You know, that eliminates every mom who has 2 kids, 1 kid, or 4 kids. It's only for the ones that have 3 or triplets, you know, and I think that's by and far the best way to focus down and get sales. I would rather have
and those niches are very underutilized and underserved as well. So you'll find those exact moms. They're like, I wish there's a shirt that says "Mom with 3 monsters," but I can't find it. You know, and that's because somebody hasn't been smart enough to kind of target that exact audience. You know.
Yep, I consider it an onion. You know, you start there, you got the big layer of Halloween, or you know, whatever it is, and you rip off Halloween. Okay, every shirt in this niche has Halloween, so there's a keyword that's going to go. But what's the next keyword I add that cuts out half of these search results that no one's competing with? Okay, I got that. What's another keyword I can add that makes sense with the first 2 to peel that down to another, you know, get it down to 500? And by adding 1 or 2 more words, you can get it right down to none. And there will be no people that are in there. And that's really kind of my favorite entry point. Now, no one's going to go in and type Halloween dog mom shirt with 3 kids or something. But if you had it's a shirt with a mom and a kid and 3 dogs or something, or 3 kids and walking their dogs on Halloween, all wearing Halloween masks or something on the shirt. I'm just making that up. I have no idea if that exists. And that's how you make a unique shirt. Like, just put the words together. What image comes in your head, make it up. I find that's
make it up.
Yeah, it's for me. I do almost all my own designs. I don't know if you do all your own or if you're outsourcing now or what you're doing, but
I'm doing all my own. I haven't uploaded for a couple of months to merch, so I've got all my stuff that has been selling is still selling. I need to start uploading for Q4. You know, most people don't really know that. Well, they don't realize that, you know, sharing content and doing all this stuff, it takes pretty much all of your time. And merch is literally not it's not my main business.
No,
I have a few other businesses, so doing all this stuff plus merch plus other stuff, it just leaves you with no time. So
I mean,
yeah.
I'm a father. I've got 2 kids. I'm a electrical engineer. I work full time. I mean, you saw, I got a phone call right before this started. I had to take. I thought I was going to have to leave.
But you still share content like crazy. See, that's the
thing.
thing.
And well, that's because every night I set aside a few hours every night to work on.
It's got to happen.
One aspect of the business, either uploading shirts on merch, making adjustments in the Shopify store, uploading on Printful to Wish, or wherever I'm working on at the moment. And I try and dedicate it at least 1 to 2 hours every night to that. And in the middle of that, so let's say I'm deciding to research a shirt, I have my stuff set up here. I just click start streaming and say, hey, I'm going to research a shirt tonight. And so I document actually doing my process. So a lot of people get to see on my channel exactly what's going into my account.
Love it, man. Love it. So Avinash is saying, how do you know whether people are looking for those phrases or not?
They're not. They're not. That's the important
thing. What I would say is, so like you said, with Mum with 3 monsters, right?
Yeah.
You just type Mum boys and see if there's demand on that keyword right there. So if you type that keyword and you
other keywords
on the other keywords that are related to that niche, right? To see whether there is demand or not. And how do you know whether there's demand or not for people that are not familiar with BSR? BSR is the ranking of demand, basically. So the more a t-shirt or product sells, the less the BSR will be. And if that t-shirt doesn't sell, then the BSR goes up and up and up. But when it sells, it goes down. And the more it sells, and the more that t-shirt has that sales velocity, it keeps going down and down and down. So the lower the BSR is, the better it is. This is for people that don't really know BSR. So how do you know whether there's a good demand on a certain t-shirt? Is you see that on page number 1, there is a few t-shirts that have a low BSR, for example, 250, 100, 200, 90, 50,000, that kind of thing. So the lower it is, the better it is for demand. So and that's how you know whether there's a good demand or not.
So let's say,
I mean, do you have another take on it?
So let's say we decided that phrase, mom with 3 little monsters. You go type in mom with 3 little monsters, and Amazon doesn't even suggest it. You type it and it comes up with 0 results, except for my shirt, who's there, but I'm the only one that's used that phrase. So how am I going to rank it? Well, in my titles, in my bullets, and how I'm going to write that description, I'm going to write it as like, this is a great shirt for mothers with 3 children. So if you checked on the search result, I bet if you typed in shirt, mom with 3 kids shirt, there would probably be some demand for that. So try and find those types of keyword phrases that do have demand that you can now slip your new phrase into. Because if they're all searching for, so on Halloween, let's say, I'm the mom with 3, I'm the mom of the monsters, or I don't know, let's say that's the real popular phrase. Well, I can put that phrase that people are actually searching for naturally in a sentence in the bullets. And now when people search for it, Amazon's going to rotate search through. You know, you start at the bottom and every now and then they pop them up to see if anyone's going to buy it. And if someone comes on there and there's 500 shirts that all say the original phrase, but yours is a new variation on it, they might search to see if there's more. And if you're the only one, now all of a sudden Amazon saw some more searches for it. And if enough people search for it after seeing it there, or they wear it around and people start wearing it, that's kind of how shirts go viral, is someone sees it on social media usually, and they look for the phrase on it. So by having it there, getting it to rotate up for the other keywords that are still relevant and help describe the shirt, but aren't exactly what that shirt is how you take that new phrase and get it exposed by existing search volume. And then
I usually call those keywords secondary keywords. They are relevant, but they're not directly relevant to that niche.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, and describe the design. So let's say, you know, it had the 3 kids. Let's say one of them was wearing a vampire mask, and one of them was wearing a ghost costume, and one of them was wearing a pumpkin costume. And you could describe the shirt as a graphic t-shirt with a mom dressed as a mummy with 3 children wearing a vampire, pumpkin, and ghost costume. So now all of a sudden you have a chance to rank for a pumpkin costume, ghost costume, all these other matches. And that's how you rank, because you know there's demand for that ghost shirt. You know there's demand for that pumpkin shirt. You smash them together in a new thing. You actually rank for the other keywords before you'll actually rank for your primary phrase on that, which is your long tail keyword. But if you have it, I like putting that in the title. And I've been trying to mix and match up different things, but I find the best result is putting that phrase in as the title, because merchers are really great at creating suggested key search results. If you look, like if you search for the double knit bottom needle hem and type that in, and you'll see and use AMZ suggestion expander, because everyone else is using that to find merch shirts and they're typing in their keywords. So you can see what all the other merchers are actually researching that way, because they're all creating suggested search terms on Amazon.
Yeah.
So to be honest, other merchers are how that new term comes up, because if you somehow start ranking on that other one and they start typing in mom with 3 little monsters, and then the next person who's doing research on Amazon types mom with 3 little monsters, Amazon starts saying, hey, wait a minute, there's quite a bit of demand for this search phrase. Yeah. Now, when mom with 3 little kids starts typing in shirt for mom with, and it all of a sudden will start popping up for it.
It completes it, auto-completes it for them. A lot of people don't know that actually those search terms, Amazon doesn't create them. It's the users that usually create them, because the more they enter those search terms, the more Amazon thinks, like you said, Brian, it thinks that there's demand for it. Oh, people are searching for this keyword or long tail keyword. Let's make it a suggestion now.
Yep.
And that's what happens.
And it's funny, sometimes they can have all sorts of weird ones. And if you can, I love AMZ suggestion expander. I don't know if you use it or not, if you're researching, but just taking that and adding, start with cat shirt for, and you just start going through the alphabet A and see what all comes up. B, see what all comes up, and keep peeling them back and you'll find places. And every now and then you'll click somewhere and it'll just be, funny avocado pirate shirt. And you go there and there's 3 search results and they all have a BSR. And you're like, well, I guess I'm drawing 19 different pirate avocados tonight and uploading them. And that's how you can take over a niche. And I know people get upset. They're saying that don't do what that person did. Put the new spin on it. Add a new phrase with a pirate avocado, and I'm making things up. I have no idea if pirate avocado is a niche that sells or anything, but get in there and make something new. It's by far the best way to stand out, because 100 million dabbing unicorns aren't going to sell.
but make sure you validate that idea. And how do you validate it? Is by seeing that what's included in that idea already sells. So like you mentioned, a dog, a mum, a camping t-shirt, blah blah blah. All of those elements are already selling on Amazon. We know that. We've validated that. So let's mash them all together and make them all a niche. Basically, it becomes a cross niche. And there's so many ideas, so many combinations that you can come up with. So you can add a dinosaur, a unicorn, a llama,
however you want to do it,
whatever you want to do, just add it, mash it up. There is going to be somebody that's going to like it. Somebody likes a llama and a dinosaur at the same time, and at the same time a unicorn, and you make a birthday t-shirt for a 5-year-old, for example, right? With all of those elements, make a llama with a unicorn kind of horn like that, and dinosaur wings, whatever.
That's and it's funny because those are like big things that sell, and that's how those were born. It was someone's like, okay, well, that unicorn's selling well and the llamas are doing well. Typed in llamacorn and it came up at one point and said no results. And you know what that first person did? They didn't say, well, how am I going to find out if anyone wants this?
Yeah, they're not
There's
gonna
no
say
one
it's
already
100.
buying it. I better not do it. No, that person came up with it. They did it, and now there's a million.
And now it's become a main seller, right? And a lot of
That-
people have followed suit because
That's
that's
right.
how niches get created. Somebody has to go in there first. They validated the idea. They came up with it. They put it to test. It worked, and now everybody is piggybacking.
Yep. It's the
So
way it goes every time. And you can either spend your time on merch following people and being second, or you can take some risks, spread yourself out a little bit, get some more lower selling things, and get that one that breaks out.
being the market leader.
Yeah, and so I've said I've sold 3,000. I'm at 3,343 sales, and I look at my top sellers here. I have a pop socket that has sold 575 times, but I only average like a 15-cent royalty on it. But every time I raise the price, it doesn't sell. But I'll take those as loss leaders to help get more sales. Don't be afraid to take a loss on something if it gives you the opportunity to test more. And then from there, I only have 3 other products that have ever sold more than 100.
Yeah.
So
Got a
large
question
minority.
From Salim, my pal. I saw some very low BSR shirts. They use very short keyword phrases. Maybe just one phrase. Is that the key to pop up in the results? I personally would use that. Maybe that T-shirt got lucky, or it's using AMS ads and it got sold using that keyword, and it got sales velocity, and now it's showing on page number 1. And it's literally just pure luck. I would say personally. It got that kind of traction initially, and it kept going. And maybe the design is good, or people are liking it somehow, or it may be that probably the owners are sending traffic to it. You never know. You never know.
That's most
A lot
likely
of the time, it's most likely like that, but that's not the key to sell on Amazon. If I'm
let's say there's like just a phrase on there, and it's really like there's a suggested search phrase, and it's I don't know, it's I raised 3 monsters or whatever. We'll just go back to that one there. Let's say that's that phrase, and that's the only thing you put in there. That's the only thing you're going to rank for.
Yes.
So you're never going to they're never going to show you it when someone types in Halloween. They're never going to show you when someone types in shirts for mom if the only thing you put in there. Now you have a good chance of ranking for that phrase.
Mom. You may be ranking for mom.
Yeah.
The word mom.
The word mom. If you just put mom on there and it says mom, someone has to type in mom shirt and
find your shirt and buy with that keyword. And a few people have to buy your shirt via that keyword. That's how you rank for that keyword mom. Otherwise, no chance. It's a huge niche.
That's right. So the as you said, secondary keywords are how you get rotated up and seen. And as you have those, you start bubbling up higher and higher into the overall niches. So
absolutely. So Q4, Ryan.
Yeah.
How do our people prepare for Q4? What do they do?
Full.
What should they do?
So last Q4 was my first Q4. I got to tier 5. I was in December. I got tiered up to tier 1,000. So I came into December at tier 500 and got tiered up right at the beginning of December. And I spent the next, 50 uploads. I spent the next 10 days at 50 uploads a day until I was maxed out. If you have open slots going into Q4, try some new things if you haven't been willing to, because you're going to miss all the shots you don't take going into Q4. So if you're sitting there with, you're a tier 500 seller and you're sitting there with 300 open slots and you're also complaining that you're not making enough sales and you haven't taken 300 shots that you could have, get those filled. I have found in Q4, I can sometimes upload, and if I'm within about 3 weeks of it before it peaks, I would say is probably about your limit. Try and get in at least 3 weeks before you're going to peak. Use Google Trends and see when those search terms are starting to rise. Like Halloween shirt started in July at like a 0, And then by now it's at like a 7, and going through September, it's going to be, you know, a 50 relative search result. And then by Halloween, it'll be 100. I did get some that started selling like at Halloween by uploading them the beginning of October, but the ones that I gave, you know, 60 days did better because they caught the earlier sales and were able to be ranking at the peak time. So we have a year now. If you can tolerate the waiting, I would say 60 to 90 days though is good. I've heard some theories, and I don't know, maybe you can say this. Some people have told me that they believe that after 60 days of not selling, Amazon, the first things they de-index you for or suppress is what's in your bullets. So then they just start focusing on the keywords that you had in your title. So the title keywords and your brand keyword, and brands, I have mixed feelings on using that. I haven't really genuinely seen a difference by using a targeted keyword in there unless I use actually a suggested search term as the brand. That's the only time I've really seen a difference on what I put in the brand. If I use like a generic novelty t-shirt company or dabbing unicorns apparel company, you know, it's I haven't really genuinely seen much of a difference on it. I don't know about you, but your titles are going to be your most important. So I don't know if that's true though, but as far as what they stop really focusing on would be those secondary words if it hasn't sold after 60 to 90 days. But now with this new 90, 100 day stuff, I don't know how they're working.
Here's what I'm finding. If a shirt doesn't sell for me, or a product altogether hasn't sold for me within 60 days, it usually never sells, man. It's very, very rare that a t-shirt or product would sell after 60 days. If it doesn't sell within 60 days, then you know you can write it off and start. If you don't have the slots, delete it. I would say delete it even earlier if you're looking to to get tiered up fast and utilize your slots. But yeah, there is absolutely no point. And I would also say that, you know, a lot of people would say to you, you need to upload 90 days before a trend or maybe longer. What I found is that if you upload way too early, you don't catch the initial sales velocity and your t-shirts. If you don't, that's if you do, fantastic for you, because your shirts will rank for you right at the beginning of page number 1, and it will be a consistent seller throughout the trend. But if you don't, and it's usually the case because not a lot of people buy t-shirts for trends way earlier than the trend starts. And a lot of people do have this idea of uploading way too early in the trend. So you'll have a lot more competition. And if you upload just before the trend starts, so let's say a month before, I found that's an optimal kind of period to start uploading. But I don't rely on just that. So if you're uploading for Halloween, you need to start uploading way before the trend starts, a little bit kind of after, and then just before the trend starts, so you can give yourself the best chance to rank for that trend. What do you think? What do you say about that?
Don't be afraid to upload in the middle of it either. Like if you're 2 weeks out from Halloween and you're still a week from that peak buying period, from what I found, it usually takes about 3 days for you to find where you're going to be ranking in those search results legitimately. And depending on the user's browsing history and what they've been searching for affects their search results. And Amazon will rotate different things in there. Because, I mean, look at if you search for, if you're doing research on Amazon in incognito mode, when Amazon's ignoring your previous search terms versus what your previous views are, they start looking at what's similar to what you viewed and they start moving those search results around. So people always have an opportunity to get in at any time. It's never really too late. If that first person Amazon shows it to clicks it, buys it, you could be off to the races. I've had shirts sell within 3 hours of uploading.
Absolutely. And you know what? The best one for me was like literally I clicked upload and it went through processing, passed the review, and I got a ka-ching within like 15 minutes of it going live. I was like, what? This is crazy. And then it literally had like 20 sales in that day and it wasn't even a trend. It was an evergreen, and it still sells. I'm like, what?
That's awesome.
Man,
That's so
anything
fun
could
when that
happen.
happens.
Anything could happen,
So
and you
fun.
don't know whether it's going to catch or not. And it's a t-shirt that I never thought it was going to be like a consistent seller. I just thought, okay, let's just upload it and see what happens. And
You don't
usually,
know.
99.9%, it's like that. You don't know whether that shirt is going to sell. And the one that you think is going to be, oh, wow, I've got the best design in the whole niche, I'm going to dominate. It probably never sells, or sells like a few times and it dies.
Don't be
So
attached
you just
to
don't
them.
know.
Don't be attached to them at all, because
Don't be attached to your design.
I laugh about it. The day they removed the rules on vulgarity, having foul language on there,
Yeah.
and like obscene things, I was having a few beers with some friends one night, like the day after. I was like, man, they just unleashed this, and I don't even know what I could make. And I'd had a few beers, and my friend's like, I saw this meme, and it was coffee. I don't need coffee. I get all the energy I need by absorbing sunlight through my butt, or something like that was the meme. And I was like, all right, I'm making it a shirt, and it's the worst awful font. Like, it looks terrible, and I've sold like 3 or 4 of them, and it still sells every now and then. Like, you just don't know what people are going to buy. Don't be afraid to try new things.
One tip for you guys is, knowing what sort of keywords or what to enter around a particular area is to, if you have Merch Informer, look for the archive. Have you used this feature before, Ryan?
The archive is great. My favorite part of Merch Informer is the Merchlytics Chrome extension. Do you use it on Amazon, where it gives you the BSR chart right on the Amazon page? That is my favorite Merch by Amazon tool. I don't log into Merch Informer very often, but every day I use that Merchlytics tool, and that alone for me has made the Merch Informer subscription worth it. But in the archive tool, I like looking back there, trying to figure
go back to last year and see what was the demand, and at what sort of time frame, and when did it start peaking. And you can start getting into a trend way earlier than other people, because a lot of people start entering a trend when it starts picking up, or when it starts showing signs of life, right? When they see lower BSRs in, say, the 250, before it gets to like 8,000, 5,000, it starts like at 500, 600, and then it starts going down bit by bit. So the great thing about the merch archive thing, or the keyword archive, or whatever it is, I can't remember the exact name of the module. You enter the trend way before it starts. You can see where the demand was, maybe enter it before that time frame, and sit there and wait and see what happens. And as soon as it starts picking up, you add more t-shirts to it, you add more products, and start digging deeper into that niche or trend. So that's definitely a great idea. I'm just going to mention to you guys that there is an amazing promotion from Merch Informer. I discussed it yesterday with Neil from Merch Informer. He mentioned it to us. I don't know if you saw the show yesterday, but it is 6 months of Merch Informer Pro for $39.99, and that's not per month. That's for the entire 6 months. So if you divide it by 6 months, it's peanuts. It's like what, £6, something like that. And that's for the Pro. It's usually what, $59.99 for the Pro per month.
I think so. Yeah.
Or $599 for the year. You're basically getting it for $39.99 for 6 months. So you're saving a lot of money. If you don't have Merch Informer, this is a great way to start, and you keep it for life, so it doesn't kind of expire. So if you guys want the promotion, the link is in the description. So you kind of just click and follow the steps. Let's see. Any question, guys, for Ray? He's dropping some crazy bombs on us here. It's all explosive, Ray, in here, isn't it?
It is. The chat's going crazy, man. You get, you pull in some good numbers here on your chat. That's pretty good. Yeah. If you guys
on the chat, I've just put it on a few groups that I manage, and you've done a great job by putting it on your groups as well. That's amazing, man.
Yeah. What did we get up to here?
Let's see. What do we have here? We spoke about AMS. We haven't spoken about AMS in Q4.
The gambling.
It goes crazy. The legal gambling on Amazon. isn't
I
it?
I merch isn't my full-time thing. Like I said, I'm an engineer. So I like data. And I looked at Amazon advertising as I'm willing to pay for data that they don't give us. You know, what are actually search terms, click-through rates, and all that stuff? Because not only do you just get it shown in front of people, Amazon tells you what the phrase was they typed in, what the click-through rate is, what the average cost per click for that phrase is, and they'll test it for other things, and you might find new phrases. But in general, I have tested over 800 campaigns on Amazon, and I'm currently running 128 right now. And they're all really low. This month alone, I've only generated 25 orders from those this month. So it's not the be all end all to get you anywhere, but you can get some pretty good data on what people are searching for, in my opinion. So I look at it as I found 700 ways to lose money using Amazon advertising, and I found about 120 campaigns that I can run that will generate enough sales to help boost the organic sales and still remain profitable. Because it's a pretty easy system if you're not watching it to have a shirt all of a sudden spend $50 if you weren't watching and it hasn't even made a sale. And, you know, if you didn't set your bids right or you bid too high and Amazon decided to show it every time someone typed the word shirt in Amazon, because you won the bid, and people are like, oh, what does that thing say? And they click on it and they're like, oh, that's funny.
Oh, no, I don't like it.
Move on.
Also, 9 times out of 10, you find merchants clicking your shirt, right? It's usually merchants smashing your advertising.
Shirts that waste the most money in Amazon advertising are small font. Things that you can't read the thumbnail because it'll show up for whatever you did. And people are like, okay, I'll click it. And then they read it and they're like, oh, yeah,
I don't like it. It's
I
not relevant to what I'm looking for.
It wasn't relevant to what the search results were. So I had one that was like an in memory of shirt, and it was a really fancy script font for women to wear, like, for their brother passing away or their sister. And the keywords I had in there had it ranking for beautiful black women shirt, but which it could work for that topic, but that was not the target niche. And I was getting a whole bunch of clicks for those types of phrases because apparently the style looked really well for them. So I've been able to make some other shirts for it, but it wasn't relevant. So I found out that there was demand for something that my style of shirt worked for that got them enough to click on it, but the phrase didn't match the search result. So all you can do then is you can take that data from advertising and say, okay, so they were clicking a lot on this shirt, typing in this phrase wasn't actually relevant. You can remove it as a negative keyword and then make a new phrase that would actually be relevant to those keywords and target the keywords, and you can make sales. It doesn't have to be like the one I just said. You'll find that Amazon keeps showing your dog shirt for, I don't know, people in it. It could be dog hunting, and your shirt's about PETA and dogs, you know, being friendly and vegetarians and dogs. But for some reason, it keeps ranking for hunting dog shirt, which the hunting dog people aren't going to buy your vegan friendly shirt, and the vegan friendly people aren't buying the hunting dog. But if Amazon keeps ranking you for it, and for some reason it keeps getting clicks, take a look at what you're getting clicks on that they're not buying and try and figure out what shirt that person's looking for. Because Amazon's telling you, hey, there's demand over here, and they keep clicking your thing because we keep showing it to them, and then they don't buy it. So figure out why they're not buying it, and then look at that search phrase and figure out what they may actually be looking for that attracted them enough to your shirt to click it but not buy it. And I think that's extremely useful data if you are running Amazon advertising. I don't believe you need to. I believe it can help get a shirt, put some juice behind a shirt. Like my best selling 4th of July shirt this year, I did it three weeks before 4th of July, I think is about when I put it up. And I put the first day I did like a $20 a day ad at up to $1.10 a click. I said, I'll spend $20 today to get this thing up. And it got like 6 sales. So all of a sudden the sales
enough to get it going. Enough to
it was
get it
there
going.
to get it going. I only had to run the ad for like 3 days, and I ended up selling 70 some of them over it. So I spent, you know, $60 in ads, giving it some juice to start, and then pulled them off and let it do its thing the rest of the time. So if you're willing to put a little bit of money behind an idea you believe in, ads will work. If your design sucks, it sucks. That's unfortunately that's the truth. And I think that's why Amazon says in the advertising recommendations, only start running ads for shirts that already have positive reviews, because you've now got the social proof that is a better convincer to make a purchase. So obviously shirts that have reviews are going to perform better in ads than shirts that don't.
100%. And if the design is great, it has to be great. It has to be fully optimized, because if you're doing a shirt about dogs, and include camping in there, and you include Christmas and Halloween and all of that, you might your shirt might be showing for Halloween niche or for the camping niche, but your t-shirt has nothing to do with Halloween or whatever. So people will click on the advertisements or on the ad, and they might not like it. 9 times out of 10 they will not like it, and they'll just click off. So you'll have high impressions, higher clicks, but no sales. So you got to be super laser focused with your keywords, especially in the title, because a lot of the time, or most of the time, Amazon pulls the ranking from the titles, don't they, when it comes to Amazon advertising? So your title has to be really highly optimized.
You want your title well optimized. It will use the bullets that you give it. I've found it does seem to mix and match those in advertising. But kind of like what you were saying there, it's got to be laser focused. Especially, think about this. Let's say you put up a shirt and you stuffed it with Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day, and you uploaded it just after right before Valentine's Day, and this shirt is a turkey eating a duck at Thanksgiving. Let's just, it's way off, but you said it's a Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day shirt. And so Amazon tried showing it at Valentine's Day. No one looked at it. Amazon tried showing it at Mother's Day. And they said, no one's buying this thing. Father's Day, I ain't showing it to people. And then when you finally get to the right holiday, Thanksgiving, and you've passed through the things that it was trying to show it for that weren't relevant, when you finally get to the thing you're trying to be relevant for, Amazon's already said, everyone hates this shirt. Why would I try it for Thanksgiving?
I'm not going to show it.
Yeah.
You're right.
So get it to where, so it shows for the things that are relevant to what's on the shirt. And that's why I believe Amazon truly only wants us to describe the design. They know it's a t-shirt. Have you ever sold in Seller Central before, or done anything on the Amazon Seller Central
t-shirts side? I've got an FBA business, but not t-shirts. Okay.
So when you write your back-end keywords for a new listing, so you're describing the attributes of the product, that's so right, Amazon knows what it is without writing it in the description. That's your keyword stuff. This is a t-shirt, it's long sleeve, it's cotton, it's poly, whatever.
They're like KDP, so KDP is the same. So you do back-end keywords,
Yep. So Amazon did that for us. We don't really need to tell anyone it's a t-shirt. Amazon knows it's a t-shirt. It's purple and it's soft and it's thin, and people know they're fairly cheap. Like Amazon knows those things about it. You don't have to tell the customer. The one thing Amazon doesn't know is what image you just put on it, and what the image is, who it's for, and why they should buy it. I think answering those 3 questions in a listing is probably the easiest way to hit your target keywords. This design is this. It's a plain text, funny phrase in white that says blah, blah, blah. And it's perfect for sarcastic teenagers in high school who love science class if it's related to it, and if you know someone like this, it's a perfect gift for them. Something like that. Don't go down that road of mother, father, son. Design it for one specific person. Describe what it is, who it's for, and why they should buy it. I think are the 3 most important questions to answer in your titles, bullets, and description.
Amazing, man. You've dropped some crazy bombs tonight, man. Bombs of knowledge. Bombs of knowledge.
Man, you drop some great stuff every week. I'm looking forward to your pre-recordings. I don't know how you pre-record, man, and edit and upload.
It's long. Trust me, Ray, it takes a whole day of recording. Well, not recording. It takes about an hour to record a video. But that's not the issue. The issue is editing and putting all the information and doing all the screen share stuff, and it's tedious.
That's why I do the lives. And
do you know what? I want to do some more streaming live, man. It's so much easier. You just do the stream, you go live. You know,
you go on,
imperfect, it's imperfect. You know, you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna say some things you wish you hadn't said. You know, it's like that. It's live, but that's the excitement. You know, people get to see your personality. People get to see you live, and
my kids come running up in the lives. You know, I mean, things happen.
Great.
My phone rings sometimes. Where you know, it happens. But then what I usually sometimes I've been trying it. I've done it I think 6 or 7 times now. Taking that live video. So let's say I did a 30-minute live. It'll take me 2.5 hours to cut that down of all the ums and ums and ahs and things. And I've done it on my phone because I use iMovie and I'll just cut it out on my phone, just snipping. And I'll spend like 3 hours and then all of a sudden it'll be like, I got that 30-minute video down to a 10-minute video and it took me 3 hours to cut it down. But here it is. And
now I need to sort out the screen share and put it onto Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere, or whatever you're using, and try and match it together, sort out the lighting, you know, sort out the titles, this, that, and the other. Put it up on YouTube, add the keywords, a whole day goes, and people wonder where all the time goes. You know, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, and for me, for those of you guys who haven't seen me before, if you just search my name there on YouTube, you'll find my channel. And like I said earlier, what I typically do is I'm sitting here working.
Ray.
Yeah, follow me. That's cool. Thank you. I do appreciate that. But yeah, I just typically while I'm working, I'll kind of just throw you guys into my workflow on whatever I'm doing. And I might do something like, I'm going to find 10 niches that are unsaturated here, and I'll just record it. And I'll use them for research too. I don't always go into all of those, or I might make one shirt from scratch from you guys, and then I end the video, and then I go back in and make 5 more of the same, basically repeating the process, but I don't re-record the same thing over and over again. So if that's something you guys are interested in, go ahead and check out the channel.
100%. And you're doing it very spontaneously. I saw you once. What did you create? An octopus, a purple octopus.
A purple octopus playing soccer.
Playing soccer, or was it the goalie, or was it playing soccer?
Yeah,
it was the goalie, wasn't it?
It was a soccer goalie shirt that was an octopus, and it said it's like I have 8 arms.
There you go. And you created it live, didn't you?
What's that?
Awesome, man. You created it live.
Yeah, it was from scratch. We started looking for octopus. We started with octopus on Google, and then we started going, and then somehow I don't even remember. We ended up down this road of all of a sudden we had the keywords of octopus, goalie, soccer, and there was that was that point where I had no results. I was like, those are my 3 keywords. What do I make? And then I came up with the phrase of a goalie, an octopus playing soccer goalie, and the phrase was, it's like I have 8 arms, you know, for really good goalies. You know, no one gets by them. So amazing, it has sold, I believe, once.
How is that shirt doing? Is it selling?
It has sold 1 or 2, I think. The shirts I do live, I feel really awkward because I'm trying to draw fast, and I am not a good artist. So I get really in my head when I'm drawing a shirt live for people, because I might spend 3-4 hours if I'm sitting here just drawing at home and drawing something.
Yeah.
But when I'm doing it live, I'm trying to do it fast, and I'm not good. But
hey, who cares, man? Just do what you do. You're doing it for fun, right? Nobody's going to judge you. And if they do, get them to do it themselves, right? Go on, mate. Oops. Looks like I've lost you right there. Looks like we've lost Ray. Let's wait a little bit for him. Guys, can you hear me? I'm not sure if you guys... Okay, he's just joining back. I'm just going to add him to the stream. What happened right there, man?
My dictation ended up... I accidentally clicked here. Bar, and it was recording what I was saying, and it searched for it and took me away from the screen.
All right. Okay, no worries. I thought that I have an issue with internet, so I was asking them to type something just to make sure that they can hear me, but it's all good. It's all good. Okay, guys, do you have any final question for Ray? I think we ran over the hour. So any questions? Maybe we'll answer 1 or 2 questions quickly. If not, we'll just wrap it up. And yeah, any final thing you want to say to people, Ray?
Just keep trying. Try new things. try and be original, try to be first into something, and you'll find a lot more success than chasing what's already there. And you know, have fun with it. If you're not having fun doing this, do something else. It's very few people are making truly full-time incomes on it, but you can get there if you keep working every day and growing. But if you hate doing it or you're miserable doing it, you know, do what's going to make you happy. I have a lot of fun doing this, and I have a lot of fun just sitting here interacting with people and sharing what I'm doing. I'm not going to proclaim to be the guru that can solve all of your merch problems, because, to be honest, there is no real secret to Amazon. There's just trial, error, focused research, and repeating what's working. So just keep repeating what's working for you guys. Double down on where your successes are, and you'll find more.
Ryan, these are very wise words. And also add to that, if you hate working, and if you're finding a 9-to-5 job very hard, that you're spending 8 hours on clock watching, not because you don't like the job, because you don't like working altogether, then any kind of business is going to be the wrong path that you choose, because it takes hours and hours, days and days of researching, working hard, practicing until you make it perfect. You got to make
mistakes. This is gonna be the lowest paid job you'll ever start yourself.
Absolutely. Because when you start, and when you make it happen, it will get better, and you'll start seeing that light at the end of the tunnel, and you'll start getting closer to the light. And once you're out of that tunnel, literally things will start to open up for you, and you make some amazing income from this kind of lifestyle. If it's not merch by Amazon, it's got to be Etsy, it's got to be affiliate marketing, anything. You know, whatever you want to make happen, just put some serious work to it. Don't think that if it hasn't worked after a week or 2 weeks or a month, that it's never going to work. You need to keep at it, stay consistent, and it will happen for you. You just got to give it time and effort. You've got to put in all that work, and don't be lazy, and don't be afraid to try different things. Right. It seems
the only
like
person's permission you need to start is yourself. You don't need anyone else's permission. Don't wait for anyone to say, yeah, you can do it. Because a lot of people are going to start asking questions like, why are you wasting your time doing that? Well, one, I'm having fun. And two, I don't need your permission to do it. So enjoy yourself.
And you know what? They're going to be people very close to you. It could be your mom. It could be your dad. It could be your older brother, your older sister. It could be your close friends. If you say to them, oh, sorry, I can't, go out tonight or whatever, because I'm working on merch, they'll be like, what are you talking about, man? Get a life, get a 9-to-5 job and work like everybody else. They just limiting you, man. They're just limiting you. And
don't worry about them.
Unfortunately, those are the people that make other people unsuccessful. And people that are not successful, 9 times out of 10, they don't want you to be successful, right? So they'll start putting doubt in your head. Don't listen to anybody. Try. It really works. And it works for people that try hard.
But also don't ignore constructive feedback. If people are giving you advice and saying like, hey, I saw you doing this. Can you do like, I thought this might be better. Listen to that sort of thing if it makes sense. Yeah. But don't wait for someone's permission to start, and don't wait for someone's permission to keep going. The only persons you need is yours. So just start doing it.
Yep. And avoid all kinds of negativity. It kills, man. Always do things that make you happy, that give you a higher motivation, a higher morale, whether it is working out, whether it is eating good food, whether it is, reading a good book, anything that makes you have a higher energy and a higher morale and a good motivation. Right?
Absolutely.
And on that note, we'll end the show right here. Thank you so much, Ryan, for being part of the show. It's been amazing, man. You've shared some fantastic content, and I love your show. Guys, go ahead and follow Ryan. He does some amazing stuff. I will say it again and again and again. Right here and now, before you exit the show, go and join his channel. Smash him with likes and whatever it is. And let's make this community very positive, because there's a lot of negativity in these Facebook groups and YouTube altogether. People are moaning and crying. Let's not make it a moaning and crying place. Let's make it very positive, and let's make it happen together. And hopefully we're going to bring about change in this community. Right, guys, it's been fun. This is the end. I will see you on the next one.
All right. Thank you.
Take care, guys. Bye.